are protesting for Congress to hold a special session for. Number one is for the ELD mandate to be abolished. What that mandate does is creates another billion-dollar industry on top of an already struggling trucking industry. The second one is to eliminate the 14 hours of service. Clock starts. All day long, it's a race against the clock. Whether you're loading, unloading, taking a lunch break, fueling, that 14-hour clock is ticking. It does not stop for anything. If there was a leniency or a flexibility in the hours of service, that'd be great. So we want to completely eliminate the 14 hours of service. The third one we want is to restructure the eliminate the 14 hours of service. The third one we want is to restructure the FMCSA. We want them to restructure so there should at least be some former truckers or people that have linked to the trucking industry. They know the hazards. They know what goes on, the worries, the concerns. What happens with the truckers? The fourth one we want is to abolish speed limiters or split speeds to govern all the trucks to only go 60 or 65 miles an hour. That's not right because every state has its own speed limit. California is 55. You got to Texas and it's 80 miles an hour. California is 55. You got to Texas and it's 80 miles an hour. The fifth, we want to abolish the CSA scoring. For the sixth, we want them to toughen up on CDL training and to educate the public about commercial vehicles. 80,000-pound fully loaded truck is going to take a longer time to stop than a car is. You know, when you go take a drive test, one of the requirements should be that you have to safely pass a commercial vehicle on the freeway. Number 7, we want higher standards for driver trainers. The people that are training the drivers, they hold the future in their hands. They should get some kind of certification that says that they are certified by the state or by the federal driver trainer. Number 8, parking availability. Everybody here knows that there's a parking issue if you're a trucker. They want to implement an ELD. Right now, there's no place to park the trucks. So they want us to stop in the middle of nowhere. What if our truck logbook says it's over? They want to stop on Highway 99, Highway 5? Number 9, fines for shippers and receivers. Everybody knows once you pick up a load, you have a set appointment. You have to be there 9 a.m., a.m., whatever. If you're late, Safeway going to charge you $500. You late, Costco going to say next day. What about when we go pick up a load and we sitting there almost 1 day, 2 days sometimes? You know, why are there no fines for them? Number 10 is abolish government subsidies for HB1 visas. The mega carriers or the big companies, they should hire truckers that are already here present, that have Class A licenses. There is no shortage of truckers in America. Number 11, driver paid miles and on duty. Everybody knows we get paid by the mile. That's not an issue. But what about when we're sitting waiting to get loaded? We're still on duty. You know, our clock, a 14-hour clock is still ticking. Does anybody work for free? So why do we have to sit and wait for free? You haul produce and they tell you the first 4 hours are free. Who works for free? We're not getting paid. Number 12 is a driver's right to protection and privacy. This is a very key point here. Driver's protection. If you Google, in the last 4 months, there have been countless numbers of shootings, stabbings, robbings of drivers. Number 2, privacy. They want to put ELDs in our trucks. They want to electronically GPS track us. Are we criminals? Are we on house arrest? Do they want to put like an ankle bracelet on us? We have not committed any crime. The 13th point is employers are responsible for fees and fines up front. When you go to unload your truck, they charge you a lumper fees. Number 1, when you take in a product to a warehouse, they ordered that product. That's the only reason it's going there. We don't just pick up a load and take it to whichever warehouse looks nicer. So why are they going to charge us to unload the truck for the product they need? The consumers, the buyers, the shippers, whoever should be responsible for that, not the driver. We don't have time to sit there and fumble. They tell you, oh, we need cash only, we need check only. We don't have time for that. 14, limit truck wrecks and ambulance chaser attorneys. You're going down the freeway, you see all these billboards. We just want to have peace. We want to heal in peace. If we're in a wreck, we don't want people bugging us, badgering us. Number 15 and 16 are correlated. They talk about emissions control. As everybody knows, California was the only state that required DEF to be put in trucks. And that's why a lot of people had to sell their trucks that were working completely fine. Right now, they have filters that run with diesel exhaust fluid. Once those filters get clogged and you have to get them cleaned, you got to get your filters cleaned. That's a $3,000 to $4,000 bill. And who requires that? The state of California. No other state requires that. There should be some kind of program. We can go to the dealership and we can just get our filters cleaned for free. We should not have to pay for that. The 17th is prohibit no idling for truckers. They want everybody to turn off their trucks. You know, if it's minus 10 degrees, you're sitting inside a metal truck, that's going to go to minus 15, minus 20 degrees. Or if it's hot, it's going to be 10 degrees hotter than it is outside. Are we not human beings? Do we not deserve safe working conditions? That's a state requirement, not even a state requirement. That's a God-given right to be able to work in safe conditions. Number 18 is to repeal the statutory acts for MAP 21 and the FAST Act. The mandate that was passed is actually MAP 21, which talks about how trucking companies will be forced to, not only will they be required to put on an electronic logbook, but they have to pay for the cost of it. They have to pay a monthly fees for it. If they want to implement a logbook, let the government pay for it. They want to track us, why don't they pay for it? Who knows how much it's going to be? Stop overreaching Congress members from manipulating laws and mandates with changes without proper consent. Mandate, it was passed in a 2012 congressional bill. There was no, we had an over-restrictive California. California is the state that puts the most rules and regulations on the truckers. There's a California Air Resource Board that is separate from the federal ARB. You know, they require, if you're picking up a load in California, your trailer has to register with the ARB. You have to have an ARB number on there or there's a fine. Last but not least is to prohibit the use of tax dollars for giving subsidies to mega carriers. That takes away from road building, from infrastructure. You know, take our tax dollars and fix the roads. Don't just give subsidies to big carriers who in turn give donations to the lobbyists or in turn don't give donations to the congressman. All you're doing is a big circle. You put it in his pocket, he puts it back in your pocket. Use our money for our needs, for our wants.
So what about us? Dogs are better than us. You have to keep your car running for the dog or a cat, but a truck driver has to shut off the truck even when it's 120 degrees outside. You go to a warehouse, everybody needs to use the restroom. She said, we don't have the restroom. I was like, you have $1 million warehouse, but you don't have a restroom for a driver who brings your load.
I want to thank the Sikh community, guys, because I am blown away by the unity that you guys have shown in the last couple of days.
And what I do know is without truck drivers and without trucks, we stop. The city of Fresno stops, the state of California stops, and our nation stops. The services that you provide, that you work so hard for, are so critical to our economy. And that means that the services you provide are so critical to families.